Why didn't you let my mother in today? Christopher asked, his voice tight with frustration. She didn't call before coming and I have told her to always call me before coming to my house. This is my house, Anna replied, folding her arms. Once upon a time in a beautiful village named Oza, there was a very beautiful and tall girl named Anna Robinson. She had the kind of beauty that captivates every eyes that saw her. She was considered as the most beautiful girl in the village. Despite her beautiful nature, she was humble, calm and obedient. Her quiet character was one of the reasons many mothers in the village recommended her to their sons when they were looking for a wife. Anna Robinson's life changed the day she married Christopher Thompson, the billionaire son of a prominent family. For a girl who had grown up in a modest village where dreams often stayed dreams, marrying Christopher felt like stepping into a fairy tale. It was like a dream that turned into reality. She had never believed that she would marry a man like him or even a man closer to his status. But it happened. It was love at first sight. Christopher had seen her the day she went to his family house in the village to fetch water during Christmas season. At first Anna thought that he wasn't serious until he came to see her parents. Christopher was everything Anna had ever hoped for in a husband, kind, loving, generous, and, above all, fiercely devoted to her. Despite his wealth and status, he had a humility that set him apart from the other men she had met. When he first proposed, she could hardly believe it. "You're too good for me," she had said softly, tears glistening in her eyes. Christopher had taken her hands in his gaze steady and sincere. "Anna, don't ever say that. You are everything I've ever wanted. Marrying you will be the greatest blessing of my life." Their wedding was nothing short of a dream. Held in the sprawling garden of the Thompson estate, the ceremony was a blend of elegance and intimacy. Anna's family, overwhelmed by the grandeur, had clung to her with tears of joy and gratitude. Christopher ensured that Anna's family felt just as cherished as she did. Her parents, humble farmers who had struggled to make ends meet, were treated with the utmost respect. He promised them a new house, a stable future, and the best education for Anna's younger siblings. "I'll take care of all of you," Christopher had assured them. "Your family now." His words had brought tears to Anna's mother's eyes. "You've given us hope, Christopher. We will never forget this kindness." After the wedding, Anna moved into Christopher's luxurious mansion in the city. It was unlike anything she had ever imagined, a sprawling estate with marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and manicured gardens that stretched as far as the eye could see. Christopher's younger sister Best was living with him before she came in. Christopher's family welcomed her with open arms. His mother, Margaret Thompson, was especially fond of Anna. She loved her like her daughters. "Anna, you've brought so much happiness into Christopher's life," Margaret said one evening as they sat together in the sitting room. "You're a blessing to all of us." Margaret treated Anna like a daughter, always looking for ways to make her feel at home. She didn't want her to feel intimidated or perhaps to feel less of herself. She often invited Anna for breakfast, brought her thoughtful gifts, and even shared family recipes, hoping to bond with her new daughter-in-law. At first, Anna tried to reciprocate the kindness, but she couldn't shake the insecurities that lingered in her heart. She had never seen a good mother-in-law before. All the mother-in-law she knew was wicked and heartless. Again, she had grown up with so little, and now, surrounded by wealth and privilege, she felt like an outsider. The two friends she made after her marriage, Clara and Monica, didn't help. Clara and Monica were two friends she at the saloon in Lagos, and from there they became close friends. "You can't trust in-laws," Clara said one afternoon when Anna invited her friends to the mansion. "They'll act sweet to your face, but deep down, they're just waiting for you to slip up." Monica nodded in agreement. "Don't let them get too close, Anna. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You need to set boundaries." "What exactly is his sister doing in your house? You have maids. I think you should send her away to her mother. She is functioning as a monitoring mirror in your home." Send her away before she brings trouble between you and your husband. Anna frowned, unsure. Her mother-in-law had been nothing but kind to her. Yet the voices of her friends echoed in her mind. The girl in question, Best, had never done anything wrong to her. She had never crossed her boundaries. Best was a good girl who knows her place, and sending her home would be sending out wrong signal to her mother-in-law. So Anna decided that she wouldn't be the one to send her back. But she would treat her in a way that she would have no other option than to go back to her family house. Despite Anna's growing distance from Christopher's family, life seemed perfect on the surface. Christopher adored Anna, and she quickly adapted to her new role as his wife. She hosted lavish parties, attended high-profile events, and enjoyed the luxuries that came with being married to a billionaire. Christopher made sure he involved her in everything. But Christopher's generosity wasn't limited to Anna. He made good on every promise he had made to her family. Within 6 months of their marriage, a brand new house was built for Anna's parents in the village, a sprawling bungalow that became the envy of their neighbors. Her siblings were enrolled in prestigious schools, their future secure thanks to Christopher's unwavering support. "Christopher has done more for us than we could ever dream of," Anna's father said during one of their visits to the village visits. "Anna, you're truly blessed to have a husband like him." But Anna's heart was not at peace. The voices of her friends grew louder in her mind. "Christopher is too close to his family," Clara said during one of their gatherings. "If you're not careful, they'll take advantage of his kindness, and yours. Your children will be the ones to suffer for it." Monica leaned in, her voice low. "You need to protect your place, Anna. Don't let them think they can just walk into your life whenever they want. I understand the reason why you don't want to send Best out. But you have to show them that this is your house. It doesn't matter where you came from, what matters now is that this is your home." Anna began to see Christopher's family differently. Margaret's visits, once a source of warmth, now felt like intrusions. The gifts and thoughtful gestures that Christopher's siblings offered seemed calculated, as though they were trying to win favor. One afternoon, Margaret stopped by unannounced, holding a basket of fresh flowers from her garden. "Anna, these reminded me of you," Margaret said, her smile radiant. "I thought they'd brighten up your living room." Anna forced a smile. "Thank you, Ma," she said, taking the basket reluctantly. Margaret's smile faltered. "I hope I'm not disturbing you. I just wanted to check on you and the kids." "No, it's fine," Anna said, her tone clipped. "But in the future, could you let me know before you come? It's just easier to plan that way." Margaret blinked, taken aback. "Of course, dear. I didn't mean to impose. I was only passing by when I thought I should branch in and give you this." "Okay, no problem," Anna said. "Well, let me start going now." "Okay, bye." Anna didn't even offer her food or a cup of water. She dismissed the woman just like that. When Margaret left, Anna called Clara and Monica, recounting the visit with frustration. "She just showed up out of nowhere with a basket of flowers. Did I tell her that I need flowers? Don't I know where they are selling flowers?" Anna complained. "You did the right thing," Clara said firmly. "If you don't set boundaries now, she'll think she can walk all over you." Monica laughed. "Next time, don't even answer the door." "I think that's what I will do." Thank God Best had gone back to school. "I am tired of these people." She sighed. "Can you believe that she brought soup for us the other day?" "Soup?" Clara and Monica said in unison. "Yes, soup." "Why?" "The same way she had been pretending to be a good woman. She doesn't know that I know her plans. That I know all her tricks. Thank God you now understand what we have been telling you. All the mother-in-laws are the same. Both my own, Clara's own, and your own. They don't love us, they only love their children. You are right. I won't allow them to take over my home." As the months passed, the distance between Anna and Christopher's family grew. Margaret still visited occasionally, but the warmth she once felt in Anna's presence had faded. Christopher noticed the tension but chose to ignore it, hoping it was just a phase. "Anna," he said one evening as they sat together after dinner, "my mom hasn't been over in a while." Anna hesitated, her friend's words echoing in her mind. "I think it's better that way. After all, we aren't celebrating anything. She needs to respect that this is our home now. That you are now a married man with 2 kids." Christopher frowned. "Anna, she's my mother. She's not trying to take over. She just loves us, and the kids. I understand, but she needs to stay in her own husband's home while allowing me to be in my own home." "I don't get it. What exactly are you saying?" Christopher questioned angrily. "She'll understand," Anna said dismissively, brushing off his concerns. But Christopher couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was wrong. He loved Anna deeply, but he also loved his family. The growing rift between them left him torn. As the days turned into weeks, Christopher's unease deepened. The home he had dreamed of building with Anna, a haven filled with love and warmth, was slowly becoming a battlefield of silent tension. He tried to ignore it, convincing himself that time would heal the growing distance between his wife and his family. But Margaret Thompson was not blind to the changes. "I don't want to interfere," she told Christopher one afternoon when he visited her alone. "But it feels like Anna doesn't want me around. I mean all of us except you. Did we do something to upset her? Or she wanted to be with only her husband?" Christopher sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's not you, Mom. No one did anything to her. Anna is not used to having a big family like ours. Give her some time." Margaret nodded, though her heart ached. "I understand, Christopher. But don't let her push you away from us. From your siblings. Family is everything." Christopher hugged his mother tightly, his resolve firm. "I won't, Mom. I promise." At home, Anna was oblivious to the quiet sacrifices Christopher was making to keep the peace. She continued to rely on Clara and Monica for advice, their words shaping her every decision. "You need to show him that you're his priority," Monica said during one of their frequent wine nights. "If he keeps putting his family first, he'll take you for granted." Clara chimed in, her voice dripping with conviction. "Exactly. Make him choose, Anna. Either it's you and your kids, or it's them. There's no in-between." Anna hesitated. "But Christopher loves his family. I have done everything to show him that I don't want his family, but..." "But what?" Clara scoffed. "Do you think he's worried about hurting you every time he runs to his mommy? You need to protect yourself, Anna. Or you'll lose everything. Do you want to go back to where you came from? Better make the hay while the sun shines." Their words planted seeds of doubt in Anna's mind, twisting her perception of Christopher's love and devotion. Christopher had done everything to ensure that Anna felt cherished, not just by him but by his family. Yet, as time went on, Anna's behavior toward his family changed automatically. One of Anna's mistakes was making Clara and Monica her best friend. She took their words more than her mother's own. Her mother had warned her the other day to remove the monkey's hand from the soup before it turned to human hands. Her mother pointed out that it was bad for her to fight the woman who had accepted her wholeheartedly into her home. As a good mother, she gave her all the advice that a mother should give to her daughter. Her father also advised her, likewise her siblings. Yet her friend's words echoed in her memory each time she remembered or saw her in-laws. "Why is she always here?" Clara asked one day when she visited Anna. "Doesn't she have her own life?" "She probably wants to control you," Monica added. "That's how mother-in-laws are. The moment you give them too much room, they take over your home." Anna clenched her jaw, their words replaying in her mind. She began seeing every gesture of kindness from Margaret as a calculated move to undermine her authority in her own house. One night Christopher decided to have a heart-to-heart talk with her. "Anna," he said one night as they lay in bed, "I feel like you're pulling away from my family. My mom loves you, and it hurts her when you're distant. She wants you closer." Anna turned to him, her voice sharp. "Maybe your family should learn to respect boundaries. This is our home, not theirs. I have said this before, Christopher." "It is our home," Christopher said softly. "But family is important. They're not trying to interfere, Anna. They just want to love you. My mom wants to love you like her daughters." "I don't need their love," Anna snapped, turning her back to him. Christopher sighed, running a hand through his hair. He didn't understand where this hostility was coming from, but he didn't want to push her. He had done everything as a good husband. He had cherished her and her family, and all he wanted from her was simple. Just love his family. It would have been better if she loved his family instead of him. That one would have been endurable. But separating herself from his family meant that she didn't want them. The breaking point came one morning when Margaret arrived unannounced. It had been a long time since she came last. On that particular day, she had gone to see one of her friends, and after that she decided to visit to see her grandchildren. Anna's attitude was driving her far away from her grandchildren, and she didn't like it. When Margaret rang the doorbell, Anna peeked through the window and saw her standing there with a hopeful smile. She knew that Margaret also saw her. Instead of opening the door, she sighed and turned back. Margaret stood at the door for some minutes with the hope that perhaps she forgot the key or something else inside. Margaret stood outside for over an hour just to make sure that her instinct was wrong. That Anna deliberately left her outside. Her smile faded as the minutes passed. Finally, she left, hurt, embarrassed and humiliated. No one had ever insulted her in that manner. That evening, Margaret called Christopher, her voice trembling. "Mom, good evening." Christopher greeted. "Good evening, my son. I came over to your house today. Why didn't you call me? And you didn't even wait for me to return before you left." Christopher grumbled like a child. "I didn't enter inside, Anna, your wife didn't open the door for me." "What? What are you saying, Mum? Perhaps she went to the saloon when you came." "No, she was inside the house. I saw her and she knew that I did." "Son, I have told you that Anna doesn't want anyone in this family except you," she said quietly. "That's not true, Mom," Christopher replied, though he knew deep down that it was nothing but truth. He had noticed it. "What exactly is not true? Is it the fact that she didn't open the door for me today or what?" Margaret said. "I thought I was part of your family, but it seems I'm not welcome in your home anymore. You won't see me in your house again. Mark my words." Before Christopher could say another word, Margaret hung up the phone. Christopher's heart broke. He loved Anna deeply, but he couldn't ignore how her actions were affecting his family, especially his mother. He had treated her like a queen, yet she continued to treat his own family like nothing. When he returned home that evening, he found Anna laughing with her friends in the living room, seemingly unbothered. "Can we talk?" he asked, his tone serious. Anna rolled her eyes but followed him to the bedroom. "Why didn't you let my mother in today?" Christopher asked, his voice tight with frustration. "She didn't call before coming, and I have told her to always call before coming to my house." "This is my house," Anna replied, folding her arms. "She's my mother, Anna," Christopher said, his voice rising. "Does she really need an appointment to see her son's wife and children?" Anna's face hardened. "Yes, she does. This is my house, and I have rules. If she can't follow them, that's her problem." Christopher stared at her, disbelief and sadness filling his eyes. "This isn't just your house, Anna. It's ours. And my family is a part of it, whether you like it or not." But Anna refused to budge. "If you want to choose your family over me, then go ahead. Anna, don't force me to do what you will not like." I have been keeping quiet but I won't again. I think this is the height of it all. You are shouting at me because of your mother. This is why I didn't open the door for her. I know that she had been pretending to be good. Tell her to leave me alone, let me enjoy my home. Anna, you will regret this action of yours if you do not pick that phone up and apologize to my mom. Never, I will never apologize to my fellow woman, Anna snarled and left the room. Sitting with her friends, she told them that her husband wanted her to put a call across to his mom and apologize. They told her never to do that. If she ever tried it, that meant that she would always apologize for everything. Both the ones she was wrong and the ones she was right. So Anna stood her ground that she wouldn't apologize. Christopher Thompson was a man of patience, but that patience had its limits. For years, he had poured his love into Anna, hoping that her heart would soften toward his family. Yet, the divide between Anna and his loved ones only grew deeper. That night, after Anna's defiance about his mother, Christopher sat alone in his study, his mind racing. He thought about the sacrifices he had made for Anna, the house he built for her parents, the education he provided for her siblings, the countless ways he had supported her dreams. Yet, all he wanted in return was for her to embrace the family that had embraced her. When he finally joined Anna in their bedroom, she was already in bed, scrolling through her phone. Anna, Christopher said quietly, sitting on the edge of the bed. She didn't look up. What? I need you to listen to me, he said, his voice heavy with emotion. This isn't working. Your attitude toward my family is hurting everyone, especially me. I want you to apologize to my mom. Anna sighed, finally putting her phone down. Christopher, I've told you before. Your family needs to respect boundaries. I'm your wife, and I should come first. You do come first, Christopher said, his voice breaking. But loving you doesn't mean abandoning the people who raised me, who shaped me into the man you fell in love with. I can't keep choosing between you and them. It's tearing me apart. Anna's expression remained cold. If you can't handle putting your wife first, maybe you're the one with the problem. Does that mean that you aren't going to do what I said, you aren't going to say sorry to my mom? Even for my sake. Yes, I won't. Your mom should always put a call across before coming to my house. This is my house. Okay, this is your house, right? Christopher asked with a derisive laughter. Yes, this is my house. Christopher didn't say anything else, but he made a decision that would change everything. He woke before Anna, packing a small suitcase with her clothes and their children's essentials. His heart ached with every item he folded, but he knew he couldn't continue living in a house filled with resentment. When Anna woke up, she found Christopher sitting on the couch, their children dressed and ready to go. What's going on? She asked, frowning. We're going to visit your parents, Christopher said calmly. Anna's jaw tightened. Without telling me? I'm telling you now, Christopher replied. And you're coming with us. I need to see your family. For what? When we get to your house, you will find out. It is a long journey, please wear your clothes, let's go. I'm not going anywhere, Anna said defiantly. Christopher stood, his tall frame towering over her. Anna, I've begged you for years to love my family, to open your heart to the people who love you unconditionally. You've refused at every turn. I can't do this anymore. Anna's eyes widened. What are you saying? I'm taking you back to your parents' house so that your parents will advise you better. Christopher said, his voice steady despite the pain in his eyes. Perhaps you will learn to respect my family after that. Anna tried to argue, but Christopher was resolute. He ordered her to enter the car or else he would do it by force. He loaded their belongings into the car and drove them all the way from Lagos to East. Anna was boiling inside the car. She refused to say a word to Christopher. For her mind she knew that her parents would beg Christopher, but no matter what they did she would never follow him. She would deal with his family when she returns to the city. Most especially his mother. Anna's parents were shocked to see them arrive unannounced. But their concern quickly turned to confusion when Christopher explained the situation. "She's your wife, Christopher," Anna's father said quietly. "You cannot just bring her back like this." Christopher nodded. "I've done everything I can to make her happy, Papa. But she refuses to meet me halfway." "Christopher, my son, what are you saying? Anna is your lovely wedded wife. Please don't do this to us. Our enemies will laugh at us." "Mama, I do not mean to hurt you and Papa, but your daughter pushed me to the wall. I won't take the children from her. They will stay here with you people, but in case Anna see another man, let her marry the man." "Gosh! What? See which man?" It was then that Anna came to the realization that Christopher didn't just bring her back to her parents for them to advise her. He had brought her back because he was no longer interested in the marriage. Anna sank on her knees and began to plead with him, tears streaming down her face. "Christopher, please don't do this. I'll change, I promise. Let me apologize to your mother if that is what you want. I am ready to do it." But it was too late. "You had your chance, Anna," Christopher said, his voice heavy with regret. "I've loved you more than anything, but love isn't enough when it's one-sided. My family is my foundation, and I can't continue living with someone who disrespects that. I won't disrespect them again. I won't disrespect your mum again. Please forgive me. Like I said, it is too late." Christopher said to Anna and turned to Anna's parents, "Send a message across when I should come and collect the bride price. I have nothing to do with Anna except these children. They are still my children." They begged, but Christopher refused to listen to all the begging and left. Anna spent the next few weeks in her village, still waiting and hoping for Christopher to change his mind. But he never returned. Her friends, who had once cheered her on and encouraged her defiance, were nowhere to be found. "They're not picking up my calls," Anna said to her sister one afternoon, tears streaming down her face. "Maybe they were never really your friends," her sister replied gently. "Maybe they just liked what you could give them. Or maybe they were jealous of you. Mama advised you against keeping such friends, but you didn't listen. Now see what you have done to yourself." The realization hit Anna like a tidal wave. She had alienated the people who truly cared for her, all for the approval of people who vanished at the first sign of trouble. Her family blamed her for everything that happened. "I have never seen a child who vomited sugar out when it is thrown into his mouth. You are the only one, Anna. You vomited the sugar God put inside your mother. God gave you gold, but out of your selfishness you lost it. And today your bad behavior had affected every one of us. Christopher is now married to another woman. Yet you are here still waiting for his return. My daughter, you did it to yourself. In your next world may your personal God open your eyes to recognize love when you see it." Anna's mother said to Anna one faithful day. And indeed Anna knew that losing Christopher was worse than losing a gold. She continued to live in regret for the rest of her life. Many people learned from her stories that it was very bad waging war against someone who didn't look for your trouble. Hello champions, I hope you enjoyed the stories. Thank you for always watching and listening to our stories. Please leave a comment below and subscribe to our channel.